Welcome to AltJake Takes On. Hello again, everybody. We are back. I am AltJake. You're listening to AltJake Takes On, episode number 38. Here with my buddy George, as always. How you doing today, my friend?
Almost to 50. We're getting there.
I know, right? I was excited about 40. You know, I like that. This is we're consistent with it. We seem to.
Do I have to give you like gold or something for 50? Is that how that works?
If we could just be at 500 subscribers by then, I'd be pumped. I'm not asking for much. Speaking of, everybody, make sure you guys tune in to our Sunday night spaces at 8:05 p.m. Eastern every single Sunday, right on my X account at AltJakeTakesOn, and back here every Thursday at 8:45 p.m. Eastern on YouTube Live for our Dynamite reviews, which is being some of the most fun stuff we do each week. And you know, I'm seeing a lot of people were commenting of thank you for watching it, so we don't have to, and that's the idea. We'll keep you informed about it, so you know what's going on in AEW, but don't actually have to.
It's painful.
It really is. And like I said, last week or this week, when I turned on my HBO Max and saw 2 hours and 36 minutes, my head just dropped. Like, oh boy. But we have fun with it, so please tune in. We're also on any podcast feed if you can't catch us live, or if you can't watch it on YouTube or want to take us on the road. Any podcast feed, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Podcast Addict, Spreaker. We're on all of them. So it's,
yes, we are.
Yep. Get our little plugs out of the way.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Yeah,
Sounds
right.
Good. Hey, I wanted to follow up real quick on a couple things, if you don't mind.
Yes, no, before we get into the weekend.
Yeah, it'll be a little longer show today, folks, because there's actually stuff to talk about. But I have some things I jotted down.
Stuff we're excited to talk about too.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to like, here we
go. Remember last week we talked very briefly in the beginning about the Michael Jackson biopic?
Yes.
And it did 116 million views in the first 24 hours.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
And
he's slow around, dude.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest stars in the history of music. I mean, at this point, it's like him and Elvis, you know, in the sense of like just biggest ever.
Conway Twitty. And Slim.
I mean, he
don't forget.
Conway had the greatest hair in like all of music with that pompadour.
Of course.
Him and Jimmy Johnson, the hair that never moved.
Yeah. That's true. Good point. Yeah, I just saw that today, and I thought it was worthy of just following up from last week.
Yeah, no, and it was funny after we had talked about it, because I think we talked like the day it dropped.
Yeah.
I started seeing it like everywhere not that long after that evening of it, because I'd forgotten we talked about it earlier, and I ended up seeing it on some sort of one of the YouTube commercials I had that I didn't skip because I was like, ooh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
No, it looks good.
Looks good.
But yeah, most trailers do. That's when a trailer looks bad. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, you're putting your best stuff out there, but sometimes they're a little weak. But no, I will definitely watch that when it's streaming and I don't have to go to a movie theater.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
When's the last time you were at a movie theater?
My wife and I were talking about this. I believe it is the last. Like, what was it? The Last Jedi. I'm pretty positive that's the last time I went to a theater.
I think mine was 10 years ago. I saw Sinister 2. Not a guy that sees not that dude. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't go to many movies.
No.
Like I didn't then. It was one of those things where I feel like I'm pretty positive I had gift cards from some like a birthday or Christmas, and
yeah, that works.
Yeah, and there's a movie theater that's not far from our house that from where it is in downtown Phoenix, you would think it's busy. At least back then it was 18. It wasn't busy at all. So but yeah, that's the last time I've been to a theater.
Okay, so
either that or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I saw both of those far from each other. Yeah, that was good.
So
I saw that at one of those Alamo theaters where you can actually have like drinks and food. That was kind of cool.
That's too much for me. I just want to say.
Yeah, I was happy to have it was nice to have a cocktail while I was watching a movie, but I didn't need chicken fingers or that burger.
Yeah, that's too much.
Right? Okay. Yeah, I all I did was order drinks. I didn't know there was food.
So something weird happened, and I told you it was going to continue on. First, it was the NBA. Then it was the UFC, and now it's Major League Baseball. We had 2 pitchers from the Cleveland Guardians accused of throwing pitches. Now, if you know anything about how Major League betting goes, you can bet pitch by pitch.
Yep.
Prop bets are insane, and I think they switched it, but I didn't do any research. I'm pretty sure they just banned the inning by inning or pitch by pitch betting. I think they did that after this broke. But the 2 pitchers were accused of throwing pitches, and they were getting $5,000. Each of those guys are $10 million a year pitchers. Okay,
that's okay, exactly.
That's
I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. You get it in like maybe a minor leaguer or something, but
here's how intricate it was, though. This is weird. I did a little bit of digging, not much. So in a prop bet, you could say in the fourth inning, the pitch is going to be less. The third pitch of the fourth inning is going to be below or above 94 miles an hour.
Good God.
Okay. Now, obviously, they've been given $5,000 in the third pitch of the fourth inning to throw a friggin' off-speed pitch at 52 or whatever the hell they throw it at.
Right.
So that company that Dana White was talking about that monitors online betting that all the systems use,
right,
can figure that shit out pretty quick.
Yeah,
realize
it's not like the old days. Well,
yeah, why is there a prop? These guys are
I don't know
$400,000.
Yeah, no, that's
amazing.
But yeah, like I feel like that's kind of why they almost thought like we could bring, because I mean, for the longest time, sports betting was not legal across the United States. And, shout out to our listeners in the UK and Australia who might not have known that. No, I'm just kidding. Because I know it's been legal, like the UK has had betting forever on sports. And, they've had different issues with stuff, but it was usually back before guys were getting paid millions of dollars every season or whatever.
The prop bets are the problem.
Yeah, no. And the thing was, what I was getting to, I just watched a podcast. There's a YouTube channel called The Upshot, who's pretty much like, if you want to get into like European sports, they're the best guys to get you into it because they just talk about the funny sides of stuff. But they were talking about a guy named Matt Letitia who came out and said that what had happened, that he was in for a prop bet where they were betting on who would get the first throw in of the game. So they got the ball and just tried to kick it out of bounds, but the guy like miskicked it. So they were trying to like scramble to get out of bounds and stuff. And like there's multiple stories of that where there's weird little prop bets that they try to help. That doesn't look like, technically it doesn't impact the game for that specific play, but it's still just, that happens all the time. And that was like in the 90s or 2000s. I think it was in the 90s, honestly.
And if you're monitoring that, it's pretty simple. I mean,
I said back then they didn't.
What's a prop bet normally get? Like 100 people betting on it, maybe,
right?
At $2 a pop or whatever they charge, and then all of a sudden you see something for like, a couple grand in the third inning. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. That's why I brought up that specific story. Thank you. I kind of tailed off it because I forgot why. The reason I brought it up was because back then it would have been so much harder to track things. Or like nowadays with AI and computer systems and the programming they have. Yeah, how easy is that to track? I mean, that was done this season. You said like that's
I think it was last season. Last season, but still,
yeah. It's not. It's so not worth your time. Like how much are you getting? You said $5,000. Like how?
I'm sure. I think it was $5,000 for every time they did it. So they probably made, whatever.
I know, and
it's not worth it. You're making $10 million a year, and you can't. I don't understand it, but whatever.
And also too, like I mean, baseballs. I mean, they got a great. If you play like 5 or maybe 10 seasons, I forget what it is, but you get the pension plan. Like you're set for life, man. Like,
they gotta stop. They gotta stop doing that. And I think they did. No. If I do a little more research, I'm pretty sure they stopped prop betting pitch by pitch. I think.
I always just, like I'm always leery when I see how many things are sponsored by all the different betting things and how many, because they've got the money to pay for the ads. Because I know I've heard people that say they would never take that or talked bad about it, and then all of a sudden they're brought to you by, I won't say any of the names because we're not brought to you by any of them, but the whole thing's just, I'm not a big gambler. Like I like to play cards at casinos. So, like I've
those places are there. They're not there to lose money, folks.
Oh God, no. That's
not the whole point of betting. There's a reason.
I've always, I pretty much lived in more of my life in the West Coast. I've lived pretty close to Vegas. Like that town wasn't built and keep expanding because people lost. I mean, that's the town was built on. The house always wins. It's cliche for a reason. And sometimes the house can be the federal agents too. Like that's, I don't.
Yeah. So
that's what you want to mess with.
I'm sure it's just going to keep getting.
And that's just this year that all those 3 stories have broke with the NBA and the UFC. I mean, that's
within a very short time frame.
I was just looking at the same seat. I like, all right then.
So as you do know, I pop around checking other shows out just for fun. I lurk in the distance, and I always see in the wrestling space, especially, I I'm amazed at what people, and this has nothing to do with Dave or Sean or anybody of that nature. It's the lower program shows. And again, I'm not saying that we're the best show at all, by far. I get it. But we're opinion based, and it's just how Jake and I feel about certain things. There's nothing, I mean, facts come out and we base an opinion off of it. We're not guessing on shit. So I was bopping around and I'm like, where do we, in chats, people come up with stuff? I'm like, where are they getting this from? And I was just tracking a few and I'm watching it, and these people are just on camera, just spewing total nonsense.
Just saying whatever the hell they want to. Yeah. And they say they have sources.
I'm amazed by it. I couldn't believe it when I was bopping around. I'm like, and they're serious. I can see it. I mean, it's not like a parody account. It's
right. No,
like,
yeah.
Wow. No, and amazing, people, dude. It just amazed me.
People do it all the time. There was that, what was it, a couple of days ago on X, where that somebody posted that, you know, Paul Heyman was a racialist against Carmelo Hayes, and Carmelo himself responded because they were like, sources say this, and they were just trying to crap on Heyman.
It's not the big site. It's just,
yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say, and when because I went and looked at their profile for fun, and yeah, it's somebody who they're like trying to be a reporter or some nonsense, and you know, just trying to peddle and making a grift with it. And the problem is they see these stories from guys like Dave. I won't say Sean, because as much as issues as he and I have had personally in the past, I've never had an issue with his reporting. I've just always been like,
no, they don't even see it. They don't even see it from Dave. They're just making up stuff. Like I'm just saying,
because Dave did it so much and like gets away with it and is still cited by other sites
out there, which we'll touch on shortly when we get to the TNA segment of the day.
Yeah,
because that's just amazing what people are talking about there. It's crazy. Yeah. It's very interesting to me.
and people being, it's just, whether they're reporting it or not, either people are just so sure of a story that literally is like still developing. And also, like, let's be real, nowadays a smart company is going to use the dirt sheets and those kind of rumors to fuel the storylines. Like that, wrestling is always evolving. That's what Triple H has done. Like, and that's why you always hear Wade Barrett making jokes on Raw about, oh, what I read on the internet. You know, I can't. But all it takes, I mean,
we can just throw something out there right now.
Yeah.
Seriously. And it will just take one person to hear it and one person to go to another chat and then write it, put it in there, and it just goes.
Yeah. No,
crazy. I thought about that the other day. I'm like, if I say something stupid, that's why I always say I'm saying something stupid before I say it. So you know it's stupid. That way I get away with it.
Right. And we're not trying to be, because those channels, like, they're trying to do that, and they're doing that to like get themselves viewers or get themselves clicks, subscriptions. I made the joke earlier about 500 subs. I want to get there organically, the way we've been doing it. Like, we're not ever going to grow the fastest because we're not trying to be super edgy or crazy. We're not trying to be like the people that are just so staunch AEW all the time, like, or just completely pro WWE. Those channels get, or staunch anti WWE. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money off that. But yeah, they get they see sites like, I won't say again, I'm not trying to name them, but like we've seen Alfred Cunowa just put out a great video about a lot of the British channels and how they used to be credible and now they're not because of how they report things of it, and they're the ones parroting, you know, Dave's lies that are clear.
Yeah, at least they put it on there. They put
WON they do, on there, but they're still reporting it. Yeah.
Once I see that, I'm out.
And then that's what, and I will name them, like Cultaholic. I used to be a fan of them, and I would watch their stuff, and I would watch because I used them to like just kind of hear what the news was going on because it used to be unbiased, and then they just started skewing. And then what gets me is when people take everything Dave says and just like, oh, well, now we know this happened. Like they prepared it as a fact. It's not like that's, and when you stop saying allegedly or reportedly and you're just going, no, this is happening, we know this from backstage reports, it's like, come on.
Yeah,
I don't know anything, and it's just
I was specifically going under the layer underneath Dave.
Yeah. No, I know.
Like, not, I'm just saying not because the scum, but the pond scum.
Right. But the pond scum sees the scum do it and they try to go up to beat. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude,
I heard some shit. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, they
just amazing stuff. I'm not going to say what I heard because it's just garbage. But anyway,
right? Yeah, no, and that's why I mentioned the Carmelo Hayes thing, because that got traction and people saw that, and it's just that exact same style of thing that, and like the person, it was funny because you know the person did it for attention, and then they got too much attention. Like they're
just a weird comment to make, dude. That's a bold statement.
Yeah, well, and that's
you
those
best
channels,
have a fact or something,
right?
Something,
and you just say sources. You don't even like. Yeah, you give no not even like, I know you don't give specific of the person away, but like not, a backstage producer or something, just sources. You don't have sources. You and your friend made this up and told each other you were sources, and
I guess, yeah,
that's where they try to keep their journalistic integrity. That's the one time is I don't want to give away my sources. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
sure.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's why.
So I know
that's why we don't report on any story,
I
any
don't report
rumors.
nothing, dude.
Well, we report on, my bad. We don't talk about anything until it actually happens. If something once we know it's for a fact and has happened, we're happy to talk about it, but we're not going to talk about.
It's all opinion based.
Yeah, exactly.
On our end.
Yeah, and that's why we had
opinion.
Yeah, and that's why when we talked about the Tegan Knox thing on Sunday Spaces was awful. Like we didn't act like we knew everything that happened.
Yeah, it's not worth knowing everything that happens. There's nothing. It's a nothing burger. That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
It was nothing.
Yeah,
people didn't want to do a 3-minute match and they left. No big deal. It's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Paid by the show.
And
didn't want to do the show.
Before we get in the Raw,
yeah,
our show on Thursday, 8:45 Eastern here on YouTube Live. It is our review of Dynamite. That's all we do on the Thursday show.
Yep.
Unless something big happens, that's all you're going to hear on the Thursday show. We're not talking about WWE. We're not going into outside stuff. Unless, like I said, unless somebody
something breaks that day.
Something very interesting.
Yeah.
But the Thursday show is just for AEW Dynamite review. That's what we're doing. AEW news, because we don't do that on our normal show. Just so you know what Thursdays are about. So
yeah, we're our recorded episodes are usually decently long. If we added AEW into that mix, it was just, and we also, it's too much into it. We want to devote some time. We want to devote serious time to AEW again, so that, like you said, we're going to go through every segment of the show as we'll tell you what happened, and then we'll talk about it too, and we'll give our opinions of it.
Now, if something happened today in AEW that was big news, we bring it up, of course.
Absolutely.
We talked about all yesterday, so we did.
Something happened, and that's why we're going to end the show with TNA, because we're going to go chronologically. So, anything else?
Shall we begin?
Yeah, it's exactly perfect. We'll kick off with where Raw kicked off, with Triple H in the ring, and it's one of those things that people. It's funny, people. I don't know, people are upset that that he's the one who makes certain announcements, or is kind of like the face of the business side of the company. Like, who else is going to do it? I don't know. He came out to announce John Cena for his last time in Boston, and that's a big thing.
He wants the big spotlight. I get that.
Yeah, and that's fine. He's good at it, and it's one of the. I don't know. It's not like he's
mostly they use Adam Pearce. I mean, he's just out here just announcing John Cena. What's the big deal? Then Pearce takes over the rest of the show.
Right,
you don't see Triple H at all.
Right. The only thing Triple H does is at the end of the segment and how it ends, which was great. And I don't know. He doesn't, I don't know. It's not like he's hamming it up or eating and chewing up the scenery or whatever. He comes out, makes a little announcement about it, hypes him up, and then calls Cena the greatest of all time, which, I mean, there's got to be at least a piece of Triple H, maybe not Paul Levesque. Maybe Paul Levesque could say it, but there's a piece of that Triple H character that's still there. It just has to hurt a bit. But
yeah, and
look at this crowd. Look at this.
If you're used to coming up before a crowd of that nature right there, if you're used to that your whole life, that adrenaline high is like no other. I've never experienced it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't let it pass. If you have an opportunity, get out there and enjoy it, hell with it.
And it's
got to
be
something on the insides, dude. It's got to be amazing, right?
Oh my God. I can't imagine. I mean, I worked and played in music for a little bit and managed a little bit. And I've seen stuff with decent sized crowds, but I'm talking 100. Yeah, no, I couldn't imagine, especially with this packed of a house that was hot. They were ready for John.
They picked the right spot for this one.
Yeah,
Boston was on fire.
Yeah, and then having the Celtics colors, it all made sense. It was just perfect, and everybody cheered and came out.
They needed a house like this. They needed a crowd like this, because the last few episodes have been but this one, this one
people are tightening up for the holidays on certain, because also Cena's last match has sold well in, was it DC, and then Survivor
Washington.
Series has done good too. So it just depends. If you've got to make them. The thing is, now it's not like it was months ago where the brand, WWE was coming to town. You just knew it was going to be a hot show. They've had some misses, and also, I mean, people, whether it's the economy or whatever, we're going into the holidays. People automatically tighten up for that. But, a lot of people's health premiums just went up and other things too. It's a financial issue. So it's, you've got to give people a reason to go, which I feel like they've been doing a little bit better with having not only more entertaining stuff, but promoting it pretty well too, even with like SmackDown coming up. But
yeah, this is a no-brainer in Boston, though. If you're there and you're like a wrestling fan, you're in.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like it was perfect. And honestly, because the rumor had started too that it was going to be John Cena versus Dom at in Boston for the Intercontinental title, and then Dom comes out, and this was the perfect showing that Dom is gonna be a main eventer, because some people, for some reason, there's that debate if he's gonna be a main eventer or not, or if he's
not a fan of the neck tattoo.
Oh no, not at all. But that's, I mean, we're older. Like that's, I mean, the younger generation,
no, younger, older. I'm not.
I'm not a fan of it either. But hey, I mean, there was generations that you couldn't get a tattoo like, below your elbow. It's, I let it go because it doesn't bother me that much. But just the way that the promo battle they had was just awesome. They went back and forth, and Dom talks his shit. And I just love the way he has both belts the way he does. And Cena's never won the Intercontinental title, so it made a lot of sense to have them do this. And then Triple H made the match happen, which that's what that was the point of where he got the biggest pop, and then he left, and then they had a match, and it was fun. And I don't know what you else could have wanted from this match, like this, because John Cena doesn't work. Dom can work a lucha fast-paced style, but John Cena's not working that, and this is working like slow and old school. And I mean, we didn't hear John calling it in the ring, but
no, I didn't hear nothing.
No, but I feel like it was close to that. And that, I mean, they were, in the sense that they probably ran through it, but John called all of it. But it was so much fun. Dom tried everything. He tried his frog splash. He hit 619, and Super Cena showed up and Super Cena. And I mean, come on, the crowd was hot for it. This needed to happen. I mean, John Cena needs, if he's going to be the GOAT, he's got to at least be a, what do they call it? Grand Slam champion? Like,
yeah.
Like it's the tennis thing. Yeah, I like it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
However, I come into it thinking now Cena has to lose his last match. And not
unless he has a match
beforehand, I thought he has to win, because he has to win. I'd rather say I want to see him win on his last match, no matter who wins the tournament. But now it kind of means he's gonna have to lose. I don't want to see him lose his last match.
If only if his last match is his next match. Like they could easily do something where
his last match is December 13th, regardless.
Yeah, no, I know. But what if I'm saying, but what if his next match, what if like he's on SmackDown tonight or next week and starts talking shit, or even it's pushed into,
dude. I think this.
Hang on, let me get. I
know. I think that I'm just thinking in my head real quick though.
He doesn't have any. He has appearances scheduled. He's supposed to be on a couple of SmackDowns. Right. That was his last appearance on Raw. So what is this? I'm just saying. What if he's on SmackDown and either he gets talked into like an open challenge, or the Miz goads him into it and cheats and steals and wins and gets the IC title from him? Like, I don't know. There's ways for him to lose the IC title and still have his last match and win it, but he also could lose it. I mean, if his last match is Gunther, but I mean, Gunther doesn't need to take a step back with the IC title. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with his last match winning or losing as long as it works. But I could easily see him having a match before that to lose the IC title. But I don't know, maybe not. I don't know.
I'm in the boat with a lot of the older folks in this one. I know Brian Solomon also said he wanted to see Cena win his last match, and I'm with him 100%. I want to see him.
If anybody deserves it, it's him. For sure.
I don't think. I'm an old school leave him happy and all that sort of thing, and especially that one.
Yeah. No, and that's why I'm saying I could easily see him dropping it before we get there. It's he's got a month. Like, that's the thing. It's not like it's not like Saturday night's main event is tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'll say. No, and that's why this worked for me, because I'm that honestly I feel like Miz is like the best candidate to take it off of him.
If they're gonna put him in the ring. At this point, they're going to advertise the hell out of it, because they're going to want as many people eyeballs on it.
I would think so. And so we'll see. And I don't know exactly how many shows he has. I know he's got, I believe, 2 SmackDowns, but I could be wrong about that. But I mean, this was an awesome moment. Hometown. Like, I mean, I guess he
hugged the referee. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean,
referee had no clue what the hell was going on. He just came over and started hugging him. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
So what's funny is I didn't catch that live, but somebody posted that on X and I saw the video. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, I didn't catch that live.
I caught it. It was hilarious. It was funny because he just looked genuinely happy. I mean, surprised actually, which I was buying hook, line, and sinker. I wasn't expecting it.
No, I wasn't, but I mean, I don't know. Like once it was happening, I'm like, he's got to win, doesn't he? It's kind of like, spoiler alert, but if you ever watch Game of Thrones or you're watching the first season and the main character is in this situation, you're like, I don't see how he gets out of it, and he gets his head lopped off. So it's like, what are the things? Same kind of idea. Like, I don't see any way he loses, and he doesn't. And hell, maybe Dom gets it back. I don't know. And then they cut the Cena backstage with everybody congratulating him, Ray back there. It was fun. I mean, it was a great hometown moment, and it was like the complete anti-Vince, not getting crapped on in your hometown like they used to do.
Yeah, Vince loves Cena though, so he would never have done that.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, no, that's sure.
They're boys.
Yeah, I think that's one of the few people that's still boys with him. And then you get to the Damian Priest versus Rusev, like for the in the last time is now tournament. I mean, this was fine. What it was.
Damian Priest fine. Damian Priest, dude. What?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine in the sense I didn't fast forward through it. I didn't have to skip anything. I watched it. Okay, there you go. There's sometimes I do.
I was surprised I
try not to, but yeah. But I mean, Rusev winning makes sense because you should get to like a final, the Elite 8 or Final 4 of like people that Cena has either wrestled with or that it'll be a first time thing for. I mean, I guess that would have been Priest. I don't know. No, I think Damian just needs like not a full on reset, but just. And I thought it was going to happen with Aleister Black, and maybe it will. Like maybe he'll turn to a little bit more of like a dark, because he kind of became like a happy baby face almost at a point. He needs to be a badass. I covered this a long time ago, the perfect way to kind of reinvent him, and I felt like they started to do that and then stopped.
Time's ticking, dude.
Right? He's
one of those guys that we talked about.
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right. There's only so much time that you not to to just go off John Cena again, but time is now, buddy. Time is now. So then it cuts to Adam Pearce and AJ Styles and Dragon Lee gonna have a tag match. I wasn't going to cover this segment except for then Becky attacks Maxine, and Maxine Dupree is getting a Madison Square Garden match.
God damn it!
I wanted to. Hey, good for her, man. She works.
They're going to give her this friggin' title, aren't they?
I was going to say, I feel like she's going to win the damn thing, and the place is going to pop. Because she's over with the crowd at a point. Like there's people, not that she's over. But
we'll see in New York.
That
will be the test. I will give you that.
Valid point. That's a valid.
People like her, and I can see why they do. But New York crowd's going to be tough.
No, and notoriously, no, they are. No, and you're absolutely right about that. So exactly, we'll say. And then you cut to CM Punk coming out to the ring and the Vision coming out, and then everybody. This is where this was basically building up to set up to what we knew was going to happen. War Games had to happen. I mean, you had them all come out. It's 4-on-4 at this point, I feel like, which, okay. But, War Games. Actually, I guess the babyfaces only have 3 at this point, huh? I guess I realized that. They'll probably get Jimmy, wouldn't they? I would think.
I don't know. No one had any idea what the War Games matches were even going to be. No, everyone's going MFTs. We're going to be in it and all this shit.
The moment Logan Paul decked Punk, that's where it went for me. Like I knew you were going that way. I was thinking it was going to be the MFTs and the Wyatts, but then they stopped building anything that they were doing there. And then I just kind of figured especially I should have had the Survivor Series or the War Games poster. Once they put that out and you had the Vision in the poster minus Logan Paul, it was kind of obvious in that sense of it. And gotta have star power. So I mean, this
is where they should have left the night right here. Not left the night, but left the War Games matches right here. This is it. This is the perfect main event. There was no need for the next one that came up later.
And honestly, I agree in that statement where this was because some people are trying to say that all 4 War Games, which is including the 2 blood and guts matches, that nothing was set up well. And I'll give you that both AEW ones, whatever, and the women's one in this one, there's parts of it that make sense and work for me. There's parts of it that don't, but the men's one makes sense. Like it does. It stars. You're building up. I mean, the Vision is fucked everybody up, and everybody hates Logan Paul. So I'm good with this.
I'm with you.
I'm good with
I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
This is where it should have been the only one of the night.
I give you that. And I honestly,
I'm
with you. And I did. Why was the women's could just be a. I love that they're bringing in War Games, but you also got to bring back classic Survivor Series matches. You know what I mean? Like maybe the men have War Games this year, and the women get War Games next year, and then the other ones in the classic Survivor Series. I don't know, or make the storylines work with it. I don't know. Speaking of storylines, we talked
about it 1,000 times where there's just no need to have. If they're both hot and they're both building that way, fine.
Yeah,
but this wasn't the case.
Yeah. No, I get you. I'm with you on it. I am. So then we had Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez. And this was all leading to what we were calling for, both of us. I think last week, I didn't know if it was going to happen. I thought it might happen in Madison Square Garden or like in another tag match with the ladies, but nope. Brie Bella turned heel, and this had to happen.
Nikki.
I mean, is it Nikki? Oh, it is Nikki. I always forget which. Sure. Oh, you're right. Brie's the one married to. Brie's the one with Danielson. You're right. My bad. In my defense, it's not that they just look alike. They're fucking twins.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, but we've been calling for this, and I'm very happy this happened. Like just because if she's gonna be back and we're gonna give her time, at least make it work. Like she wasn't getting cheers. I'm from her hometown. I was in the audience in June when she called her, was it Stephanie Vaquer or whatever she called her?
Yeah.
The reason she called her that is because she was startled because she wasn't expecting to get booed, but she did. Like, I'm sorry, but she did. So this works. I'm excited. Like wherever they go with this, cool. I'm sure it'll be a women's title match that there's no way that Nikki's going to win. So whatever.
Yeah. They did what they had to do here.
Yeah. And that's fine. I'm just glad.
Yeah,
I'm just glad that they turned her heel because that'll work. Another nothing burger of a match with the for the last time is now. Sheamus beats Shinsuke. I mean, the match was fine again,
you can go. We talked about it before too. You can go through the first round of this tournament and go. None of these guys are going to be in the finals,
right? But again, where I was saying with like having Rusev move forward because he had a feud with Cena.
A food show with Braun Strowman.
I was just damn it.
That was good. That was good.
That was really. I applaud that. Oh, I should have had the applause button.
Yeah, where's my applause?
No, all right, hang on. I got to bring the audience back.
A food show with Braun Strowman. Thank you.
Hey, what's this button? Shout out StreamYard. All right, that's what we'll go next.
Canned laughter, awesome.
I don't usually keep the media stuff up while we're going, so I can have the thing on my full screen. That's my fault. You know what? That's it. We're having the audio up the whole time. But I mean, it's just having Sheamus move forward and Rusev move forward because they've had feuds with Cena. Like it makes sense. But yeah, they're not gonna. They might make the final four, maybe, but no, probably not. Yeah. So then
they would not. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you. And
I wanted to ask you something funky. I know it's off topic, but did you see when Nick Aldis on SmackDown pulled the ball out and hit it?
Yes.
Who do you think that is?
I have no idea. Joe Hendry? No, I don't know.
I was thinking, him, Joe Hendry, or him, Nick Aldis.
Or just Aldis?
Yeah. I wasn't sure.
Okay,
I've heard that in a couple spots.
I hadn't yet. I like that. That's the first time I've heard that. I've heard a couple other rumors of stuff, but nothing that really got me. Joe Hendry makes sense
for that, by the way.
What?
Phil from Pro Wrestle Times.
All right, guys, shout out to Phil. I was gonna say, I'm glad you remember. We always love to shout out wherever we get our information from. Shout out to Phil, PWT. But I hadn't thought of that. That's good. Ooh, I like that. Is that match on SmackDown tonight? I assume so. Or is it?
Don't know. Yeah, it'd have to be.
Right? And aren't they in Madison? Are they in Madison? I don't know. Is it Raw that's in Madison Square? I forget.
Yeah, Raw next week's in Madison Square.
Is that what it is? All right. I would say, yeah. But that means they're somewhere probably in the Northeast with SmackDown with a good arena. No,
considering they've been in Boston and stuff, yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. And so then we got to the main event, which because I showed the backstage segment before with the War Games, but that was great. But then we had
they're in Albany tonight.
All right. So yeah, still in New York. That makes perfect sense. So then we had Charlotte and Alexa versus the Kabuki Warriors, which they've been building pretty well. And this was great for me because, again, what I was saying is the Kabuki Warriors kind of need the titles. Like, otherwise, they're just jobber teams, and they won. So that worked.
This
Thanks
was
to
the thing. Go back a second. This was the match where Charlotte had the wardrobe malfunction.
Oh, did she? Hang on. Let me go back. Let me
You're not going to see it in the picture, but
no. But
she was in the corner. Her top came off, I think.
Oh, so she's been going to the Lyra Valkyria School of Fashion because she's had that happen a couple times.
Yeah. Now, speaking of tops coming off, next picture.
Which one?
Your next match, your next segment. There. Nia Jax could not keep her boobs inside of her sweater during this whole thing.
We've heard of a deep V, but that's like a super U, man. No,
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what?
No, I get you. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with this tag team of Jackson Lash, but I'm not sure if they need to like immediately put them into War Games, but you know, so the heel start attacking, and then Io comes running out, and of course, Mommy's back, which I mean that makes perfect sense. And then the moment Mommy's back, and then with them all in the ring like that, like you knew it was gonna be War Games. And I hope it stays this way, 4-on-4. Like then you don't have a fit. Like that's fine. We don't need 5. You know what I mean? Like who you're gonna, if adding 1 each, like what are you gonna do? Add Maxine and Becky? That'd be like, you know what I mean? There's no reason. 4-on-4 is fine. We don't need. We saw with Blood and Guts, you do not need 6-on-6. We don't need 5. I mean, if they really want to do 5-on-5, okay. But these 4 versus these 4, I like it. It works. I get you though. I mean, they made it make sense in the sense that like that the Kabuki Warriors have messed with everybody or whatever with it. I'll give you that, but Lash and Jax just kind of felt like they were thrown into it. But
yeah, Nia Jax of all people just popped up again out of nowhere. Like she hasn't been on TV a lot lately.
No, I'm wishing
they give her Lash Legend, which I don't like either. I like Lash Legend 100%.
Yeah,
I just don't think Nia Jax needs another. Lash Legend's bigger than her, taller wise, and she's muscular more.
And that's what intrigues me is like have we yet to see like a really like Brothers of Destruction style tag team in the women's ranks, which is not big size. Yeah, because usually a bigger and a smaller. I mean, that's the beauty of like Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, and that's usually what tag teams are. They're not, or they're 2 smaller guys like the Motor City Machine Guns or Frack Team or whatever. It's it's the 2 big. I'm intrigued to see it, but I'm always skeptical. But I'm willing to give it a shot. We'll see where it goes.
I'm just disappointed they picked Nia Jax for this. That's all.
No,
I mean,
get you.
Especially on her own. She's a machine. Blah blah blah. But.
No, and I mean, no, and you were saying it for a long time, have it be Jade, like kind of go back to what she was doing in AEW with the baddies. And I agree. No, but I kind of felt like when Jade said, it's that bitch show, I was like, because that's or I'm that bitch. I mean, not that bitch. Where she said I'm that bitch. That's what she would say. They can't just completely do a carbon copy of AEW.
No. They can just put her with some, put her.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fine.
I get you. I get you, but yeah, no, it was a decent episode of Raw. All right, yeah, get into NXT.
Hey, before we jump into NXT,
yeah, what's up? Yeah,
I know we talked about it a little bit prior when we were off air, and it seems now I'm not a ratings analyst. However, the NXT rating was like 554.
Yep,
and it's down a lot. And I did not watch NXT this week. However, on Wednesday, when I got home from work, I watched 20 minutes of it online, like on a breakdown.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's the trend now.
I'm
pretty sure that's what's going on because the ratings are down.
And the YouTube videos, and there's multiple ones too, because at least for the shows that are on regular TV, because like there's the WWE channel puts like NXT and SmackDown highlights and replays, but then also there's a WWE on USA, and I even think the CW will put NXT stuff up on there. No, I learned when I went to San Diego for 10 days in August, at the end of August.
Nice.
Yeah, so I learned that when I was there, because I was on vacation, so I wasn't really home most. Both NXT, like Raw, I could easily watch because it was on Netflix and watch whenever, but NXT and SmackDown, both of them, I couldn't, where I was staying didn't have like a DVR or any process from there. And both shows, Like I use shout out to Wrestling Headlines. I use them for their synopsis of the shows because they literally go through like they'll put like somebody's entire promo text on there. So I'd pull that up to like see what the show is, but I would watch the recaps because there's the highlights, and then they'll even show like a good chunk of certain segments or like certain matches, what you need to see of it, or they'll like the top 10 of what happened on NXT. If you just watch those 3 or 4 videos, you're caught up completely. Because I did that because I didn't have to figure, like I was thinking when I came home, I'll go back on my DVR and watch NXT. I was caught up, and I was able to even like on vacation still record episodes of this show and be totally up to date. And even if you're like, and if you're just a casual fan, like if you just typed in like the hashtag, like hashtag WWE NXT or hashtag SmackDown into like your Twitter search and just scrolled on latest, you'd catch through the whole show. Like you'd go through it backwards, but you would see the entire show online essentially. Like
it's gotten to the point where unless it's a live sporting event like football, baseball, or a PLE, TV ratings are going to continue to go the way they're going.
Yeah, no, and I mean, honestly,
I mean, it's easy to figure out.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of a lot of that. I don't watch a lot of WWE stuff or even AEW live.
You ain't got 3 hours kicking around.
Yeah, exactly. I watch it. I'll either start it a little bit later or watch it afterwards and just burn through the commercials. It saves me some time at least. Yeah.
I mentioned it by accident, but SmackDown's going back to 3 hours.
Yeah, in January I saw that. Yeah. I'm not too surprised by that because it has felt like I think that's the reason why it hasn't been as coherent, because the rosters are huge, like and they have more things things built better when it was 3 hours, but it takes longer. But again, that's where DVR came in for me.
You're right. You're going to see this trend continue. That's all.
I think so, and I think that's where. I remember like Cornette was talking about it with like the necklace things from Nielsen that were like picking up whatever audio you were getting from. I don't know if that was like helping ratings or trying to help ratings and stuff, but yeah, I mean, or people catching or how they watch on. I mean, most people watch on like the number one thing I watch through on my TV is YouTube. Like I'll watch other stuff too, but YouTube's the main thing. Like, I watch most all my YouTube videos through my TV. So yeah, that's just kind of where it's gone. And that's where it's only going to continue to go. I mean, there's how many people that are like coming of age into adults right now have never had a TV or watched like regular broad. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. It's not like it's like, we think of like, oh, the kids. It's like, yeah, those kids are like 19. Some of them are older. Yeah. But I mean, we'll just gotta burn through some. But there were some parts of NXT I really want to cover. Some parts kind of get through quickly. But Tatum Paxley is the champion. I'm interested to see how this goes. I like that it's still JC's completely involved with it because as we know, George is the conductor of the JC Jane train around here, and I'm sitting there throwing the coal into it. I like it. I'm all for it. Right. I was happy that she came out in the first segment. I'm like, yep, she is still the female face of NXT. I think she'll get called up sooner than later, but this is great for her. This is great experience, even though it's a smaller arena. She's still she's the star of the show on the women's division. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, and then they sets up the tag match. I enjoyed it. Yeah, and then El Grande Americano. They are really pumping. They are really big on Jasper Troy. These are these speed matches, though. I mean, they're stupidly quick. That's kind of the point. But man, this kid, which I think is good for him. If it's going to be a 5-minute match or less, you don't have to. You can hide him in there, and he can just be big and beat the crap out of people. And
yeah, he's good talent.
He is. Yeah, and he's young, and I mean that's the whole thing about the LFG program. I feel like was a lot to you're going through you're learning and getting coached and stuff, but really they're trying to figure out who's mentally got the ability to do this, and I think he does. And so then we've got
most definitely. Yeah. He's one of the ones I like.
Yeah, I agree. I like this I guess trio, but really of Chelsea and Ethan Page. And it's good to have Alba Fire with them as the Secret Service. Shout out to Piper Niven. I heard she had a really bad injury or something. Hope she can come back, but apparently that's bad news from what I've heard. But versus Thea Hale, and I like the idea of Thea and Joe together. All to set up is that they're at the first week show of the Gold Rush show in that theater at MSG. You've got Thea Hale and Joe Hendry versus Ethan Page and Chelsea Green for the AAA. They call it the mixed tag team titles.
I think so, yes.
I think it's mixed. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not as versed on it, but
and Joe Hendry's officially WWE now. No more TNA.
Which I mean,
he signed yesterday or today.
Oh, okay. Oh, so okay. All right. I did not know that. Okay, well, scratch that. I did see some posts about it, but I was one of those things where I just thought it was like kind of like I forget who it was not that long ago, but I think it was Damian Priest, where like he re-signed in like February and it came out in like July, and they're like, oh, he just re-signed. He's like, no, I re-signed a while ago.
This one just happened. So
good. Well, good for Joe, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's a great worker. And he's been a fun part of NXT, which is like a good push for him now because he's got time. So I like the next two segments were probably my two favorite segments of the show. I liked Blake and Crazy Blake. Like this worked really well for me. I thought she did this very well with the lightness and the dark. And people are going to compare it to Toni Storm, but it's definitely different. Yeah, exactly.
Just by the way, Joe Hendry's 37. He doesn't have a lot of time.
Jesus, I thought he was like 33. My bad.
Yeah. Well, 37 years old. So
right.
Kind of move. Yeah. But he's kind of. I'm sorry to disrupt this segment here, but he's got to capitalize on what's been given to him. He's got the popularity. Just take off and go with it now. Just make it happen.
Yep, and he still pushed, and he promotes promotes a hell of a lot of stuff through his social media. He did they're letting him do his parody songs, which is like one of the better parts of his gimmick. So no, it works. But no, what I thought this was done very well with Blake. I thought I thought it was very interesting. I think it's a fun segment and part of it. I think she's done very, very well for herself, and everybody says that she's being pushed to the moon in the company. And so
this could be a long run with the title, boys.
Yeah, which as well it should be, because she doesn't need to have the main title, but she needs to be established and be a major character and a major force. So yeah, I'm not sure when she'll lose it, but yeah, it'll be a good long while.
It'll be a long while. It'll be at least a year. My prediction is at least a year.
I was gonna say unless
talking.
Yeah, unless there's for some reason to do it at Stand and Deliver for some reason. But yeah, no, other than that, I'd say keep it on her for a good long while. And no, it really, really, really. And I misspoke earlier. I said people were comparing it to Toni Storm. My bad. Sickos were comparing it to Toni Storm. Nobody who's really objective or gives a shit was saying that. But then we had the Javon Evans segment, which really was probably my favorite segment of the show because he was FaceTiming with Leon Slater, acting like he wasn't there. And he knew he was going to lure Dark State out to kind of attack him. And then Leon Slater is there. I like that. Like, it was simple. It was wrestling. It was cheesy, but it worked very well. Like, the moment he pulled him up on FaceTime, you knew it was coming, but it worked well. I enjoyed it. I really did. I thought that worked well.
Some things work when you expect them. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not everything needs to be a swerve, bro. Yeah. But this is good stuff for these kids. Like, they're getting good work. They're getting featured. They're big stars. I'm not sure exactly when Leon Slater's contract ends, but I feel like he will be in a very similar position to Joe Hendry and when he gets moved over.
Likely,
yeah. Everybody speaks so well of him too. That's worked with him. I saw the clip with Nick Nemeth the other day where it's like he's not just doing the moves. He's got psychology behind it. Subtle dig at AEW, and the Indies with it, but makes sense and it worked for me. So I liked it.
Yeah, Sean knows what he's doing. I mean,
yeah, God, for sure. Then there's the other speed match with Fallon Henley. Had to get I forget who was she facing? Hang on, I've got it here.
This one I missed.
Well, it was a speed match.
Yeah, I know. I missed it completely.
Yeah. In your defense, yeah. I was gonna say it was super quick, and it was I forget her name. Who was it? Skylar Ray, which was I believe her NXT debut. So you knew Fallon was gonna win, move forward in the speed tournament. Great.
I don't mind them doing the speed thing on NXT.
I think it works.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they were going to keep it, that was the thing. When I heard that Twitter no longer wanted to continue the thing with it, I just figured it was going to go away. Or maybe YouTube, I thought. But this makes sense. And it doesn't take up that much time. Like, let's be real. It's quick. It's quick.
Quick, efficient, done.
Yeah. So then we had the Haas fight with Josh Briggs versus Tavion Heights. This was cool. I enjoyed this. I think Tavion Heights has a bright future. I think Briggs can too. He's just got he needs some work still, but that's
he's been down there for a bit now, right?
Yeah. And they've sent him over to Japan once. And I think in my opinion, from when he came back from Japan was really when he started to shine, as opposed to just kind of being a part of that tag team. And obviously Tavion Heights is the one that's really being pushed out of the group. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, he's got unlimited potential. He just absorbs everything. He's got the Kurt
Yeah.
Angle potential.
Yes.
Ooh, I said it. I said it.
Yeah, but that's that's a good it's a great comparison of it. And if you're willing to learn. Oh, and there was the segment too in the back with Miles Bourne and Ava where they were talking about where Miles Bourne was talking stuff about Trick. So I was thinking this might be Trick's last match and he might be going up soon. And I still think that's gonna happen, but when Miles Bourne and Ava had that segment, I was like, oh, maybe Trick's not done. But then I went to the main event where you've got Ricky, who they present like a damn star, and Trick, who's already a damn star. Like, last man standing match. I was glad they gave this a good amount of time. Like Ricky was getting announced when it was like 90 minutes into the show.
Yeah,
so
you kind of had to.
Exactly. If this was gonna be the end of their feud, which is what it's kind of pushing to seem to be, it made sense. But they had kendo sticks and beat the crap out of each other. That's ow.
They do a lot more than I would do. That's for sure.
Oh God, there was some. Oh, this one. Yeah, this one here where he put the trash can. I always laugh at the trash can move because I get the idea of it, but really it's just loud in there. Like the trash can
hurts your ears, dude.
Yeah. I know. But I mean, yeah, it's a funny segment. It's a funny thing with wrestling when they do that in these. But this was a fun match. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was vicious. It was violent. He threw him through the wall. For a second, I like this picture because of Vic and Booker over there. Whoa! But then Ricky comes back with the spears him through the table. And for me, this is the perfect ending for Trick. Like, what else does he have to do? Like I feel like he's ready, but
yeah, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
But then I think where and with
and
who?
that I give you that.
I don't want to see him with Carmelo Hayes again because that's a downgrade.
I give you that. No, I give you that. And Carmelo's starting to really come out on his own too. That's why I'm not sure about it. And if they don't have anywhere to put him, don't bring him up. Don't bring him up just to do it. I would hope that they have a plan. But we know Ricky's next plan is Oba, because this is the first time we've seen Oba since he lost her. And people were thinking that people were really convinced that Oba was coming up.
Same concept. Where?
Yeah, and him, it's even worse because a Trick can be in that upper mid card. I mean, I guess you could with Oba too, technically, but I mean, in my opinion, it's really got to be like Oba's like when Oba debuts, it's got to be like a major, almost like rock level.
They're the main event in NXT every week. They're the main event guys. They go up there, they're in the middle of a fucking bunch of superstars.
And even if it's in a smaller arena to a smaller audience, main event work is main event work, and they're being presented as main event stars and being treated that way. You know what I mean? And that's good experience. And with Oba, there is no rush. I believe he's 26 or 27, so there isn't a rush with Oba.
Yeah, and if you look at the downloads for the matches, like I've looked at the downloads for the NXT matches and the SmackDown matches. The main event ones are still the ones that get all the downloads. So people are seeing those matches.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Even if it's on NXT and the ratings suck. Yeah. The downloads are top of the line. They're the highest ones of all the segments. They're the top one every time.
And also too, the CW has an app, as far as I know, too, that you can watch it on. And people don't need to watch it live. It's like, how many people watch it the next day or weeks or days after, or watch what they want to because it's, they saw the highlights on YouTube. That's more eyes are on it than just, and that's why the ratings are only a small portion of what's important, and just especially in WWE because their YouTube channels. I say it a lot, but they're the top. They're like the 11th channel, or like the number 11 channel on YouTube.
Absolutely, that's fun to watch. You know what? I watched the John Cena match live. And then the next day I came back and watched it on YouTube, and it was just as exciting as it was the first time I watched it. It was amazing. Yeah, and then NXT I missed completely, and I watched all the replay, and I got into it. It was nice. It was fun.
They do it well. And obviously, like we've talked about it how many times, if WWE has the best production team they can possibly have, and so they know how to do social media. Like they just do. So no, that was good stuff.
If AEW is smart, they might just take everything over to YouTube and just do it that way.
Well,
I can see that being very successful on YouTube.
Yeah, well, it's not only if they're smart, but also if they get canceled. Like Tony's not going away. That's why, when people talk about like AEW is dying or whatever, I'm like, they might be dying on like having a TV deal, but Tony will just move it to YouTube.
It's not going away.
I've never thought it was going away. I've always just just go small. Yeah, exactly. That's always what I've said from the beginning. Even when I was back, years before talking about before we were doing this on YouTube, or I was making appearances in other shows, I would say, like people would talk about it. I'm like, it's kind of like I always say, like Dave doesn't get any actual money from Tony. He's not on the payroll, but he knows his subscriber base is all AEW sickos, and then Tony probably pays his flights, his hotels, all of his stuff, and he makes him feel like he's important, and he calls him and asks his opinion. So that's worth more than money to Dave. Dave's made enough money from either when the Observer was important or people that are just stupid now.
So when I actually look up like the Nielsen new rating system, it says right in there, it says pro sports is obviously going through the roof. However, with some certain cases, AEW Dynamite and NXT are down. It says it right in the description. So it's interesting. It says it right there in the Nielsen breakdown.
And I'm surprised they didn't throw SmackDown in there too, because SmackDown's been down. I mean, people were I know, but I mean, but it's still down in the sense of it, though. Yeah, like it was at 1.4 million, and they're really probably more at like 1.1. I know people were like, "Oh, they were under a million," blah blah blah. Like that was on Halloween.
They don't care anymore.
No, they don't. They really do. The only people who do is like NBC, Universal, and USA, who host the show. But WWE doesn't care how much they care, because once that deal ends, you don't think somebody else will pick it up? Like if they needed to. If TV didn't want them, they had to go to another streamer. You don't think they could put SmackDown on, I don't know, Amazon?
Even with that though, even when they show their highlights, they're giving USA Network credit. So
absolutely. And so as long as the advertisers are paying, as long as everybody's making money, I don't see any issues with it. And like we said, WWE on USA is a USA Network channel. Like clearly, like they know what they're doing. So
it's cool. It's cool.
And so we'll get into the other news of this. We'll just cover. I made after our live show last night. Usually I've been watching TNA because I DVR it and watch it after the fact, because we've been going live when it's been on. But you sent me the text of what happened on the show, and so I had to make sure I watched it, and I watched the whole thing. And so the show starts with Mike Santana cutting a promo with his belt, and it was great. And Ryan Nemeth comes out to talk smack and tries to slap him and looks like a bitch, but challenges him to a match. The big thing about it was this was their first live show since Bound for Glory. They did Bound for Glory, and then they did like 2 tapings of everything, or 1 taping where they
turning points tonight.
Yeah, which that to me is the biggest downfall of TNA right now, is that they're taping they're taping multiple shows at once. Like they need to, I mean, I know it's a monetary thing to figure it out, but they need to be live. Like, even if they don't live, even if they tape it at 3:00 in the day and air it at 8:00, that's fine.
Yeah, they put their pay-per-views on YouTube. Why not just put everything?
Yeah, no, exactly. And then they have their, Turning Point tonight on Friday, it's a pay-per-view, but it's if you have TNA Plus, it's just part of it. It's not like Genesis or Bound for Glory or Slammiversary where you have to pay for it. But the show was fine, goes through it. Ariana Grace is back on NXT, which was good. She got an Ariana chant. There were some fun parts of it, but we're here to discuss the end of the show, where Mike Santana beats the crap out of Ryan Nemeth, but then the match is stopped and broken up by all these guys from NXT. Lexis King.
Yeah, there's makes sense.
Yeah, it's we're talking about Josh Briggs' partner when you used to go with Briggs and Stratton. Here, Briggs and Dunn. Yeah, there he was. Then and the guy who get the guys from the D'Angelo family and stuff they used to be part of it. But they came in and cleaned house. Like they
did a nice job, actually.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where people are like, oh, they buried him or whatever. I'm like, there was like 8 of them versus like 2 or 3 guys. And like, it was also too where they all came out together. And so anytime TNA guys would come out, they were coming out in clusters. Like, like 2 guys would come out and then the Rascals came out, and like, it made perfect sense. And then I knew what was happening, but if you were watching it live, you'd be looking at the clock and being like, shit, there's still time. And Kazarian comes out and, cashes in his, Collier shot, yeah, because Nick Nemeth had gotten taken out earlier in the show by the same NXT guys. But it was a cash in. Like, it wasn't like people like, oh, they buried him, they lost. Like, first off, not only after they Pillmanized his arm with the chair to make it and they had the medical staff coming out and they were going to stretcher him out of there, I think. And then, or they made it look like that. And then Kazarian comes in and immediately hits him with whatever his backbreaker finisher thing is. And Santana kicked out and then fought back. And he had to, and like Kaz actually had to beat him, and he did. But like, it wasn't like he got buried.
That was nicely done.
It was. And
because what's happened afterwards is worth everything they did.
Right. I was just, there's been a lot of talk online.
Yeah. Now, yesterday, I know I was texting you this morning or this afternoon. Rumors are that Santana is not returning calls from the company or texts.
Yeah.
And the next one I sent you a little later was Santana is not at the show tonight.
Turning Point tonight. Yeah.
Nor should he be at the show tonight.
Right. And yeah, it was I saw like Wrestle Purist, even PW Insider was reporting it. But and I have no problem with them reporting it that way because it is technically a story. Here, let's pull here. I've got a page. I can pull it up here.
This again, just in case it's wrestling, and this is done perfectly.
Right.
Now he should be absent until Gold Rush. And it's in New York City, which all makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So
you got Mike said he doesn't need your prayers. He's fine. He's not going through a mental episode. This is wrestling.
No, I saw
it's a perfect angle.
Yeah. Here, this one. Look at the way the company pushed him aside to focus on the NXT guys. Do you blame him? Like, seriously? It's like, this is, and then people ask, how did people believe wrestling was real in the 60s and 70s? People believe it now. They just believe the bullshit stories that they're told by Dave or Wrestle Ops. And also, when I first saw this, I like 3 times made sure it wasn't Wrestle Oops. I didn't want to get burned by that when I first read it and saw it because, it seemed kind of that way to me because like, of course that's what's going to happen. Why would you have him come back tonight after he lost? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, and like you nailed it. Like the moment it happened, I was like, well, that was dumb. Why'd they do that? And then I thought about it for 10 seconds and I'm like, wait, NXT has not 1, but 2 shows at the theater at Madison Square Garden next Tuesday and the Tuesday after that. I don't think he'll be there this upcoming Tuesday. I think it'll be the next, right? The 25th. Exactly. Yes. Thank you. Because I also saw some people say, there's people in this thing. I don't think I don't want to look for it, but somebody was like, oh, that's because right, exactly. Thank you. That's why I didn't want to do it. Because they were like, oh, he's going to show up on SmackDown tonight. No, he's not. Exactly. He's show up on SmackDown when he was attacked by NXT.
If he shows up on SmackDown, I will personally apologize. Well, come on. Yeah. I'll tell you what, if he comes on SmackDown tomorrow morning when you wake up, we'll just do a live little thing and I'll say I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, we will give a full on mea culpa because it's not happening. I'll do it too. I'll go on video and like I'll hang my hat. I can't eat my hat, but I'll bite
done perfect. It's done perfectly. They Pillmanized his arm, so he's hurt.
Yeah,
can't come back. Can't show up to the show because he's mad and he's hurt.
Right,
and then build it the way you want to build it. He's not returning calls. He's not returning texts. Perfect.
Right, and like that's part of it because when you do this, people are going to get pissed. Like, it makes sense. They knew this was going to blow up the internet. They've been working with WWE long enough. I'm sure WWE has hands in this. Like, this makes sense. It's
and just for the record, and I know I texted you this too. Santana has worked too hard to be that stupid.
Right. That was a great statement. Yes. I'm glad you said that on air. Cause you're right. He's worked too hard and he's super smart. And like he just posted the other day, he's been clean for 1,000 days. Like he's a smart man. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
the company's behind
1,000
him.
days sober, became champion, worked his ass off. His daughter's proud of him. And now he's not going to return calls from the company and not right. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Right.
He's not that type of
nothing.
Guy. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. No, it doesn't make any sense at all and he's not he's the one who made sense with the decision that he made to leave AEW and go make something of his career. Like he took Tony's money for 2-3 years, saved up well, and is now wrestling on television and being seen by WWE. Shoot, I mean, maybe it'll work out where he wins it back in the theater at Madison Square Garden in 2 weeks. Who knows?
Yeah, and he was trending all night last night.
Right.
So mission accomplished.
And then like the moment that started to dip in the trend, guess what story leaked? I didn't think of it. You just nailed it. You're right. The moment it happened last night, he was trending all through the night. And then this morning or early afternoon, when the trend starts to dip, the story that he's not that he hasn't shown up to the arena tonight and he's not coming back. Because the other thing too is I saw that post when it was like at like 2 o'clock Eastern, I think, or maybe 2 or 3 o'clock Eastern, that he hadn't shown up to the arena tonight. Like, okay, like he's got till 7. You know what I mean? Like they put the story. Was a planted story, guys. Like they know what they're doing. Oh, which I think is great. I'm all for it. I am all for it.
Yeah,
as
long you don't need to even see him until Gold Rush the second time.
Yeah,
it's fine.
And exactly. And first, if he is being buried and he quits TNA because of it, I'll apologize for that too. I won't come on and do a live for it, but
if he shows up on SmackDown, I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, all right, fair. That's fair. That's a good way to end it. We'll leave that promise out there for it because I will have this. I usually try to post these like right in the last 15-20 minutes of SmackDown so people can see it, and then right after SmackDown come in and listen to us because you're in that wrestling mode. So hopefully it'll be fun. So anything else you wanted to cover before we get out of here?
No, just the normal see us Sunday.
Yep, I'll say we'll be back for Sunday, and there's nothing happening this weekend for Sunday. It's next Sunday. That's the AEW pay-per-view, right? Yeah. So or next Saturday, and Sunday we'll talk about it. So yeah, Sunday Night Spaces, 8:05 p.m. Eastern on my X account at AltJakeTakesOn, and then back here on Thursdays on the YouTube account, also at AltJakeTakesOn for the live Dynamite review. And then we will catch you guys next time.
Keep it going on Thursday, folks. We're having a lot of fun.
Yeah,
the audience is getting bigger every week, so it's
every single week.
Nice
We're trying to get eyes out there, and please, share it with your friends, bring them along. We're happy to chat and talk to anybody. We're very interactive. We have a lot of fun with it. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
We appreciate you making it to the end of the video. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.